All right. Just got off work now. About to go home. It's night and it's dark. So, sorry about that. One. So, think about this as like a radio show or like a podcast. Just listening to audio. Right now, I'm on my way home. Just got off work. All right, so just want to let's see, where is this at right now? 56 seconds. All right. I hope I'm getting good audio. If I'm not, sorry. But just want to go over a couple of things about some things I covered in the last one, the Shiz 1 podcast that I did recently. And let's talk about human behavior. I want to discuss that more. It's like an ingredients. It's like a cookbook. When you have a cookbook, you can mix things around any way you like. You add a little bit of salt. Maybe the next time you cook that same product, you can add more salt, less salt, and the taste is different almost every single time. One thing that, a lot of fast food places and any restaurant has is that you have to make the product the exact same way every single time. But when you're at home, you can pretty much mix anything the way you like, any way different. My roommate made an apple crumb cake. He decided that this time he wanted to add a little bit of coconut. It didn't come out as good. It had a little bit of different taste. It was okay, but it wasn't great. One thing you have to look at is our brain is a chemical makeup of several different types of personalities. It's all based upon chemical reactions that our brain reacts to. Each of those chemicals determines what type of behavior we will have at a certain point and how much behavior we are allowed to have. Each part of our brain has a certain storage capacity to store just enough liquid to make adjustments to that behavior and to how we react to things. Everybody has a different storage capacity. So if something is happening, let's say danger, some of us react to danger differently depending on the situation. And it also is based upon experience, practice, as well as the levels that we can hold. And our brain is ever changing. So the more experience you have handling a certain situation, the better we can handle it. But it's also based upon experience, and it's also based upon how the brain is made up to handle that particular experience. It also is based upon upbringing, genetic traits. All that comes into play, and how our brain is built based upon what we can learn, how fast we can learn a particular subject or situation. It all comes into play. It's like we say, it's like a mix. How much flour, how much sugar we add to it, how much salt, how much cornmeal. It all determines how something tastes. And it's, again, cooking is also based upon experience. Your first cake may not be that great. Your first meatloaf may taste just like a meat patty. But the more you make it, the better you may get. How fast you get it determines on your experience, your upbringing, and your brain's capacity to learn. Cooking may not be your thing. So your first meatloaf, your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your sixth may not be that great. Now, someone who is more adept into cooking may learn that meatloaf quicker. A person who is gifted at cooking may cook that meatloaf right up perfectly the first time around. Not everybody's going to be exactly the same. I'm into computers. Even though a car is somewhat a mixture of a lot of components and mechanics and everything, I am not a mechanic and never will be, because I have no interest in it. But what made me have that interest? What in life told me that I will never have interest in mechanics? Because it doesn't interest me whatsoever. Do I really have that choice? Did I really choose not to have interest in mechanics? Think about it. Really think beyond the box on this one, folks. Because I really want you to think, did you really have that choice? For you to be a mechanic, or a cook, a chef, or a hairdresser. I have no interest in being a hairdresser whatsoever. But what made this other person decide to be a hairdresser? Did they really make that choice? Why do they love being a hairdresser so much? Why do I have my love for computers? Or for a computer gamer, why do they love gaming and I don't? Did I choose that? Did I choose to love gaming so much? I mean computers so much and not so much gaming? Did I really choose that? I don't think so. I didn't choose to love computers over gaming. I played a few games in the past and got bored with it. I was like, this is not my thing. But see, you got to remember that it is not your thing. Because that particular part of the brain was more excited about working on computers or working on cars or playing games or whatever the case is, more so than your brain was excited about something else. If a person doesn't know how to work in the streets as a construction worker, that person will never have. But you take another person and they get into construction because they had some interest in it at some point in their life, or they were forced into it. Because in some construction companies, they don't check your criminal background. So some people were forced into it and had to adapt. But there are some people in this world that doesn't have to adapt because they don't have to do it. So don't ask them why they never learned how to do something in a certain life, because it wasn't for them. It wasn't for them to learn it. It is not that particular makeup of the brain. Why do some people like cold and other people like hot? Are you able to change that about yourself? Yes, a person who doesn't like cold can easily move to Chicago and live there for years. But would they love it? No, they won't. They will absolutely hate it. Think about that, people. But there are some people who love the cold, but who hate heat. But can that person move to Arizona? Yes, they can. All right, so just give you little thoughts about the chemical makeup about your personality, your choice in life, your choices, and how you view things. Just think about that. Is it really your choice? Probably not.